Hi, I'm Dan. I'm one of the founders of Womba, and this is Helen, my business partner and the other founder.
Hello and welcome to Womba.
My inspiration for starting the business comes from spending a bit of time out of work to look after my young son Jesse. It's quite a lonely experience being a stay-at-home dad, and so I ended up spending a lot of time with other new parents, and through that experience came to see what a challenge it was for many of them when it came to returning to work. And I reflected on my own experience of leaving a large corporate and the very generous outplacement package they gave to me. And I thought that it was frankly ridiculous that here are companies supporting people who are leaving but doing very little to support those who are going back. And so I decided to start the company. So the things that I think are missing in the current world of work for parents, aside from the obvious things like on-site daycare, would be the provision of structured support for returning parents. Having a manager that understands the situation that you find yourself in and the experience you've been through is incredibly important. But our research points to the fact that it's not enough. Talking about issues that you experience as a new parent, your feelings of guilt, your loss of confidence, these are deeply personal issues. And so providing a structured way to enable parents to transition back into work with confidence, I think, is a big gap in the market.
Many companies are actually doing quite a bit already, for example, enhanced maternity pay. And many of the companies that we've spoken to have really good policies in place. But the reality is that those policies don't always turn into practical help. And Womba is a business that's actually set up to help companies turn those policies into something meaningful. It's actually amazing being part of the Womba community because each of us has the opportunity to pass it on. So as we've had children and managed the return back into work, I think we've learnt a lot. And as you become part of the Womba community, you have the opportunity to help those that are yet to come through and hopefully make that journey a little bit easier.
If you're a working parent watching this, then our vision for the Womba community is to inspire you to make positive choices, whatever they may be. And if you decide to go back to work, then we want to make sure you don't fall on the first hurdle or the second hurdle or even the third hurdle. We want to help you to set appropriate boundaries that allow you to return to work feeling guilt-free and with confidence. So the support we've had from working parents so far has been amazing. We've had so many generous, warm-hearted parents offer ideas, contribution, connections and suggestions, and everybody recognises the need for what we're trying to do.
Parents can't actually stop talking to us once we talk to them about Womba. They've shared huge amounts of personal stories and their experience, and that is actually helping us build a fantastic business. And our heartfelt thank you to all those that have helped us so far. I think the future for balancing parenting and work is going to become an essential for most couples. So with the way that people are having to pay for their university fee tuition, they're having to invest huge amounts of money just to get their first home and set it up. More couples are going to be working, which means that it's going to be essential that companies do a better job in terms of supporting those couples back into work having had children.
New companies coming to market today completely get the fact that you need a balanced and diverse workforce. Your workforce has to represent your customer base. Existing companies find themselves in a position of having to re-engineer themselves, but the companies that are coming to market today are building themselves that way.
My hope is that by the time that my son and my daughter are ready to make the choices about whether or not they come back to work once they've had their children, that it's just the norm that structured support is in place to help make their choices a little bit easier.
The legacy we're trying to create with Womba is very simple. We just want to make the world of work a more accessible place for working parents, and that's it.